Greetings and y'all some warm positive vibrations. This is Body Culinary. Hope your morning is off to a great start. Happy blessed Sunday. So this morning I'm coming on just to just check the pulse to find out folks that tune into this channel what your interests are. If it is merely, which is not bad, if it's locks, um, what your priorities are, anything that you hope to gain on this channel. I'd love to hear how you came across this channel, if it came across your feed, or if there was something that you were searching for, if it's hair or a little bit more than hair. I'm curious to know what folks' priorities are. Not making anything bad or wrong, but I'm curious as to what folks' interests are. I love to come together around focused activities. So usually, if it's anything having to do with the garden, a daily movement practice, which I definitely get a lot out of, makes me feel tremendous, or fruits and vegetables. Those are the types of things that I'm interested in. So I love to come together with folks around an activity. If you're new to this channel, welcome. I'm Body Culinary, also known as Kwasapeacefull Eating, a professional chef, personal trainer, natural born woman. Shout out to you, whatever your expression is. And on this channel, I share some of my journey of radical self-acceptance, and what that looks like for me is being really creative with the features that I've been divinely assigned, especially like this really kinky cottony hair. I also share 3 leverage lifestyle practices, which we all actually have access to. And they are peaceful consumption, food that demonstrates that it loves you back, a daily personal movement practice, which is the foundation of my esteem and I find of a healthy esteem, and also garden slash nature therapy. These activities give you back so much more for the investment of your time, your energy, and your focus, especially while you're perusing and scouring and searching and clicking on the internet. So I love the garden because it's so peaceful. I love being creative with food that is healthy and makes me look and feel healthy. I'm into longevity and having fun in my body temple in a way that does not compromise my body temple. I'm not interested in compromising my ability to make sharp decisions. I'm not interested in compromising my sacred parts. Um, I'm not interested in wasting my intimate relations calories. So I am more into travel, love travel, interested in languages and making new foods, finding new spices. I'm really, really fascinated by self sabotage and equally self actualization. What's the difference there? What's the thought process? So that's some of what I share on this channel. So today, yeah, I'm wondering what folks' priorities are. You know, is it for me, for example, some of my priorities and what they look like, how they show up for me is a movement practice, aka working out. I like to refer to it as a daily personal movement practice. It is deeply, for me, it's deeply therapeutic. I actually feel like we're leaving a lot of life on the table if women only knew, if people only knew how much you could get out of, how good you could feel, how much your self esteem could be improved and heightened, how much you can improve your overall health and physical functioning through a daily personal movement practice done at home so that you can get some consistency and sustainability out of it. I wish more folks knew. So I'm up every day at, well, with you folks on East Coast, Eastern Standard Time, 5 a.m. It's a 5 a.m. workout Monday through Thursday, and Fridays is a community class. So if you're really looking for something, you're gonna find it. You'll find it. You'll invest in it. What we really believe in, what we really value, shows up in our accurate accounting of our calendar. If we do an accurate accounting of our calendar, we'll see what it is we're really committed to, right? We'll see what it is that we really believe. We'll see what it is that we really are interested in and committed to. So, what are your priorities? I also love fashion, though I am not into going broke for fashion. It's not a priority. Enjoying fashion is something I really enjoy, but going broke, and I think of all the money I spent that went in the garbage. Yeah, a lot of experience, but that was a lot of land. That was a lot of land, a lot of travel. So we learned. Sometimes I wonder if we have to wait until the later seasons of our life when we've wasted so much time, expended so much energy, sometimes done damage to ourselves for us to get it. It appears like we have less. Some of us have less wiggle room than others to really waste resources, our bodily resources, our creative resources, our ability to focus. Not all of us have the same amount of wiggle room. So I would love to hear what your interests are in terms of fashion. So I'm more into creativity and unapologetically low maintenance. So my hair for today is like a scarf because I'm about to go out into the garden. So I have one of my hats. I was just thinking about buying a new hat, but I was like, no, we're gonna rock the same hat. And my hat is always blowing off, so I put a ribbon on it. So I love being creative with different things. My hair, kinky cottony for CDZ, whatever. Very fine, very delicate hair. So I have a scarf, so I don't get caught up in the trees and the bushes today. But I'm cutting up t-shirts. I'm in mode of cutting up a lot of vintage t-shirts. I'm loving my vintage finds. Those are priorities for me, and I'm really grateful that that has been a priority for me for years. It has afforded me a lot of opportunities. If I'm honest, I would have to say I'm so concerned, um, but by what I see online with some of the newer artists, and it's not coming from a space of condemnation, though. I just came across some artists. They're new to me, right? Not really. They're new to me, and the language, and I'm not, I'm just so shocked. I like to choose my words carefully, but sometimes like if nobody says anything, I don't know. You wonder how in the past certain people have come into power, right? And how someone, let's say for example, like a Hitler came into power. How many people saw things? How much of the community, how much of the country just didn't say anything? You know, if a lot of people gave the one person consequences, maybe perhaps it would have gotten to a certain point. I also understand it's a very volatile environment, and the internet, interacting on the internet is kind of unique because it's challenging to hold people accountable. So people are very anonymous, spend a lot of their time and their energy trying to get a reaction or trying to feel something, which says a lot about maybe perhaps a lack of interest or feeling a sense of powerlessness in their own lives to anonymously uh, attack folks or whatever. You can have your, you know, your opinions, but the internet is a very, very interesting place in cyberspace, if you will. And it's nothing like the quiet of the early morning to, and also the garden to self-reflect. I tell you, just to get quiet and to self-reflect. So much clarity, and there's so much distraction on these internets. You got to really, or it's up to us to really curate what we're consuming, even though it's stimulated, even though it's enticing. It is really for us to curate what we're ingesting, so we're not just moving along like mindless blobs, just taking on anything and everything and not questioning it. Some of the lyrics I hear in makeup lines, I'm like, this cannot be real. And I wonder if it's real, the amount of people defending this new, well, somebody I just became aware of, this young lady who is saying online that she often has intimate relations without any kind of protection. And she's a young woman, an artist. Her music, it doesn't sound like it has, I'm not, it doesn't sound crafty or creative. It doesn't, just what we have an appetite for. It seems that we're devolving. That's the best way that I can say it respectfully, right? I can't take away from somebody accomplishment, or maybe the only accomplishment is if you got money, if you have money, that's it. But if we were to be self-reflective, that's not just it, because your tone, young woman, her tone sounds lethargic and sounds just an observation. It sounds somewhat sounds depressed, and this is who we are. The younger generations of women are following. She has, again, I don't know if this is real or if this is like a joke. Has lip glosses that are named after STDs, and I'm thinking like, this is, I'm like, it can't be real. It can't. It can't be real. I can't imagine. I can't even imagine a young lady in the hood. I can't imagine a young woman in the hood wanting to go into a beauty supply store and spend $4, $5, $6, $10, $15 on a lip gloss named and descriptive of an STD on her parts. What is the thought process? It can't be real. And I've often thought for many years, the record executives, like I've worked with all different types of demographics of people, Asian, conservative, Jewish, Black, white, Indian, and in some of my conservative religious people's homes, I could never imagine them playing that music for their children. And the different factions of that community. But if you think of the record executives, would they ever have images of their aunties and their moms or their nieces or their daughters? Would they even sanction that stuff in their community? Lip glosses named after STDs. It's mind blowing. What's even more mind blowing is again, I'm just wondering because I know there are bots and there's some people that are paid for views, and people solicit you on Instagram. Would you like me to grow your audience all the time? Random people overseas will solicit you and ask you, if you want to pay to get some random views. So it could be bots. It could be bots that are saying this is the best thing. This lip gloss that is named and descriptive of STDs is the best thing. We love her. It can't be real. I can't see somebody that's even traumatized. I can't see it, right? And it's at this point, it's for each of us to be self-reflective. We keep saying out the mouth, our words say, I love myself, I love myself. I buy more things, I buy more things, I buy more things. At what point do we say that the emperor has no clothes on? Is no one exhausted? Is no one exhausted? Is no one concerned about the climate of the community? I'm not saying you got to be a champion out front running with picket signs, but where I'm like, what planet are we on? Would you wear a lip gloss named after STD? There's nothing that fly. I can't see it. I can't see it. Somebody break it down for me because I don't get it. So there's another woman saying that she thinks it's a plant to really take the image. And different types of people that come to this channel, right? I interact with all kinds of folks. I have some Japanese friends, I have some vanilla friends, and so on. But it is what it is. I've heard it said that this woman has been planted to really put like a nail to seal the deal on the image of Black women. So similarly to the men with the reputation globally that melanated and chocolate men are just good for basketball and their reproductive organs and have a reputation of just being a threat and being a monster. And so it's really sealing the deal, or really putting it's strong marketing, let's put it that way. It's the strongest ever marketing about the image of women of Afro descent. And as someone that's worked in the travel industry for years, that's traveled, has lived abroad extensively, I can tell you for a fact, it does matter. It does matter how you carry yourself. It does matter. And it seems like there's no sense of accountability or responsibility on a basic level. Again, not saying you have to be the passion for the Christ bearing a cross on your back. That's not it. But just with the adults, there's no sense of You know, you can be sensual, sexy, creative, whatever, but there's no sense of safety. I'm gonna do what I want to do. And we don't think that caring for the next generation, just a climate of safety and respect, we don't think that it comes back to us as a collective. It doesn't appear that we think that it affects our earning potential or our health or our safety, the climate and the precedent that we set as we move about in the world. And the fact that young women are taking instruction. By the way, food is instructions, literal instructions, genetic coded instructions to your body, to yourself. Music, when it's processed by your brain, it moves the crowd. It's instructions. And if we're still in denial about how we are affected by food and music and the things that we say and how we move, then what can we say? What can be said? I mean, it's been years now. I'm always like, how does the internet outdo itself? It also speaks to, I think, my personal observation, my own personal theory, that the choices that we have made, women and men, but I'm going to say as women, even if it's been in ignorance, to bring human beings here unintentionally because we want to, we feel like it, without being really intentional, right? Because we're responsible for choosing not only who their other parent is, but being intentional about the community and the resources, mental, financial, emotional, that these human beings will need to be healthy and to be able to, whatever their artistic imprint is, to be able to express it in their lifetime, to be able to fend for themselves and to flourish, right? If we are ignorant, or if we're just so wanting to have an experience that we're not taking in consideration what these human beings will need, then perhaps that's part of the karma of what we're seeing. Because it's kind of like an FU to them. So the attitude of the I don't care or effort, the effort attitude, right? Effort is a very dangerous mentality. If someone has an effort mentality, they don't care about taking themselves out or taking others out. And so they wouldn't care if somebody has an effort mentality. They're not going to care about giving you some advice to engage in a crime, to engage in something that's going to destroy your brain, your teeth, your body, your finances. They're going to share the love and the discernment. It's like we're wanting so bad to fit in or whatever the internal dialogue. It's not registering for us to be courageous enough to pull ourselves out of harm's way and just figure out something else to do with our time and our energy and attention, something that's worthy of our time, our energy, and attention. It's disturbing. And I do know I can't afford, because your time and your emotions, your attention are really expensive. Your focus and your motivation to get motivated to have sustainable fitness and to start a garden and to travel, if you don't have those resources to figure that out, if you're in a relationship or not, if you're a mom or a parent or not, that takes a lot. It takes a lot. So our emotions and our care are really expensive. And so because we're so triggered and because we're so trauma bonding, um, that could render us not discerning because we want so badly to be validated and heard, which is limited on the internet with strangers who you don't know, who you can't vet, and you don't know their character. It's dangerous. It's alarming. It's alarming. But your emotions and your are expensive. And so I know for me, I got to keep it simple. I'll come right back to the garden, the movement, and the food, and the things that I can control, the things that I can do to make myself feel better, to make myself feel good, to enjoy my life. Call it simple, call it corny. With the garden, nature therapy, a daily personal movement practice, and peaceful consumption are the foundation of, I have found in the most practical, sustainable sense, they are the foundation of healthy esteem and of health. And we are all at our most attractive when we are healthy. So by the way, Cocoon yesterday was the retreat that streamed live here from Central America. It was awesome. It was from 6 a.m. To 6 p.m. We went beyond 6 p.m. So we may be offering some parts of that on the site soon. But I'm continuing forward. Um, and I sometimes I hold back from a lot I could say on the internet because there's such a tendency to trauma bond, lack of reciprocity or value. So I'm not at the stage of life to waste energy, male, female, black, white, to waste precious energy. If folks are not serious or they're not looking for something. That's why I say it's time to go into the cocoon and bloom, right? If you think of how you're spending your time, are you getting something back for your time? Are you leaving conversations feeling inspired to get into action around the things that you say that you value? Hopefully, health is one of them. You know, other narratives. You can really rewrite your narrative, right? It's travel, it's health, it's securing yourself into your future, it's healthy body parts, being healthy mentally and emotionally. Is that something that we're parroting, or is that something that we're really serious about? If it's something that we're serious about, then check your calendar and an accurate accounting, or it could be beneficial. I don't like to tell grown folks what to do. It could be beneficial to check your calendar and to do an accurate accounting of how you've been spending your time, the withdrawals that have been made on your account from your focus and your time. Because then when you look to get into focused action and you don't have the mental, emotional energy and capacity, the staying power, it's likely because you spent the energy and the focus elsewhere, maybe perhaps without even realizing it. The other place, if we look at our finances, um, and we're not on track, or we're not seeking solutions, and that's not everything is not your finance, but it's important. If we're perhaps just lulled into escapism because we are rightfully so fearful of the future of being in what seems to be a volatile, unsafe environment, are we just scrambling to any old personality, male or female, on the internet? I don't know, y'all tell me. What are your priorities? Is it health? Is it fashion? Is it working out? Is it the garden? What are your priorities? What are you interested in? I know I'm here for anything having to do with the garden, anything having to do with the daily personal movement practice, anything having to do with peaceful consumption and behaviors that enhance me, that are fun, but also enhance my brain, enhance my ability to make decisions, enhance my health, enhance my security into the future. That's the only thing I'm interested in connecting with. How are you spending your time on the internet? So hopefully I'll see you tomorrow at the 5 a.m. workout, because that's our consistent, that's what we can do. The garden is my church. The movement practice is what I can do. I can use whatever I'm paying rent, mortgage, or whatever as a playground, as my kitchen healing apothecary, as my garden. That's what I can do. That's what I can do, whatever environment I'm in. So 5 a.m. is a workout, Monday through Thursday. Feel free to reach out. Fit Flower community. Feel free to reach out if you're interested. If you are part of Fit Flower, make sure you're identifying yourself. When I go through and do a clean out, if I can't identify, then I will delete folks, because it's very important that I have an idea, a clear idea of who I'm engaging with on the internet. It's called the vetting process, right? So Fit Flower, sharing what you're doing in the garden, what you're up to with your movement practice, your wins, sharing your successes, and your travels. That's Fit Flower. And Fridays is the community class, also at 5 a.m., right? So I will rotate between the different platforms. So feel free, if you are engaged with this content, to give it a like, respectful commentary, because I like to engage with respectful boundaries. I don't have the only perspective, but it's got to be respectful. Share it with someone who you think could benefit. And I will see you soon. You can find Body-Culinary on TikTok, on Instagram, a little bit on Facebook, and directly to reach out to me on the website. If you're interested in group coaching, that is every Sunday, whole fresh living foods and fitness as a lifestyle, not a diet. You can reach out to me, bodyculinary.com. That's at 2 p.m. every Sunday, Eastern Standard Time. And if you're interested in online group coaching, you can be younger, fit over 50, or even if you are younger. I've been a top trainer and worked at one of the top gyms for over 10 years, competed, kettlebell certified, pre-postnatal, all that jazz. And if you'd like to engage in really upgrading the way that you eat, reach out to me at info@body-culinary.com. Hey, greetings. How are you? How are you? I hope all is well. So make sure you reach out. I think you're active over there on the Fit Flower. So there's a lot coming. I've been doing so much in the background. I'm so busy because I already start at 3 o'clock in the morning here, right? So that's 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the East Coast. But I say go into the cocoon and bloom. We're not really missing out on the STD lip gloss, right? The lyrics that are so deplorable, it doesn't really require a brain. It speaks to us putting up a front about trauma and damage, and I don't find it helpful. Let me know what y'all think. See you soon.